Obsession. That's a favorite song of mine from back then,
wow,
too.
And you are a UFO fan.
Yeah. That song, yeah. That's got the great little bass thing in the beginning there, yeah.
Pete Way, he's a friend of mine. He's a great guy. A little reckless, but weren't we all?
Yeah.
I was going to say aren't we, but I said weren't we. UFO Obsession. I picked this guy to work on the record Rest in Peace with me, named Mike Klink, because he had done UFO Obsession, and it turned out I ended up having to fire him because the guy says, well, Dave, I'm working on the Guns N' Roses record right now, and if Axl calls, I have to leave. And I thought, if Axl calls and you leave, you're fired. He called, he left, he was fired, not until his dog ate a hole in the wall through the soundproofing and knocked one of my guitars over, and, you know, figured there's a lot of people in the neighborhood we were recording in that would have loved to have eaten that dog. So it was good for him he did leave after knocking my guitar over. But anyways, we're friends now. But yeah, he told me some great stuff about Obsession, that Michael did that entire record through a pig nose amp, which is like this big, little teeny amplifier about the size of a lunchbox, and that he played the whole thing laying on his back drunk. And I thought, wow, that's got to be hard, because you know, your elbows got to bend a little bit. So you know, he's probably got scabby elbows from playing on the pavement and stuff. And his guitar playing, to me, the reason I play a Flying V, Michael Schenker. I don't have straight hair, you know, but if I did, I would say it's because of Michael Schenker. No, not really. But the epitome of a rock and roll god guitar player: black pants, black boots, black shirt, bleached white hair, Flying V, perfect stance, not looking at the audience, and just shredding.
So I think your fifth choice is probably a lot of people's favorite record, or at least favorite band, which is AC/DC, Let There Be Rock.
Back in 1955, man didn't know about a rock and roll show. No, that guy, the white man had the smoke, the black man had the blue.
I heard that energy coming out of the guitar. Immediately, I got a poster of Angus, put it over my bed. This was who I was going to be. I was going to be a lead guitar player. I was going to be successful. I was going to dominate. I was going to make sure that my style was a signature style. I didn't sound like anybody else, and I was going to make a name for myself. And I just would listen to AC/DC, and I would learn the riffs. So we would go skiing, and we'd listen to AC/DC all the way up there, and we'd listen to it all the way back. We'd go to the beach surfing. It'd be AC/DC every day, every day. I remember the first time I went and saw him play. It was unbelievable. I was in the very back of the venue because I was a kid at the time, and you know, living on my own since I was 15. So I got what tickets I could afford at the time. But you know, you see this little guy going, and it's just jumping everywhere, and you're like, oh my God, where's the energy come from? And then the fitting climax to all of this, after being a fan for so many years, I got to support AC/DC in Europe in 2001, and it was, I think it was the Stiff Upper Lip tour or something, and met Malcolm and met Angus and became friends with Brian Johnson, and you know, it's such an amazing life, you know, when you get into something that you really love and you become good at it. To meet people that are your heroes. And I saw Angus walking out of the loo, and he had his tie in his pocket so he wouldn't piss on it. and I said, Angus, can I hug you? And I bent down to hug him. He's like 3 feet tall, and I'm like, oh my God. I stayed back up, it's like towering over him, and I got one picture of all of us together, and it's just the neatest thing, because he's like right in front of me. I'm thinking, God, all these years I just wanted to meet this guy. There's only one person left in the music business I desire to meet, and that's Robert Plant. Everybody else I've met.
You still haven't met him?
He's a bit elusive. Yeah. So I'm not going to go out of my way to stalk him or anything like that. I'm sure if the moment comes, it'll come. If not, we'll meet in heaven, so I don't care.
How does it make you feel when you have fans approaching you with the same kind of emotion and sentiment that, like, say, you felt when you finally met Angus?
It's a little awkward because you know, I know my weaknesses and my idiosyncrasies and stuff, and I think that a lot of times we compare our insides to other people's outsides. You know, and I think that if someone looks at me and they might think that, you know, I've got it really going on, and inside, you know, there's a lot of stuff that I still wrestle with, you know. there's things that everybody goes through that, you know, I deal with. I'm not any different from anybody else. You know, I stand on stage and I'll be singing to people, but deep in my mind, you know, there's still that little kernel of doubt. Am I good enough? Am I giving you what you want? Do I have what it takes? You know, and then that bigger kernel says, yeah. But you know, I think that my initial reaction when people say that stuff is I get shy, because you know, it's hard for me to take compliments. It's just a lot of people grow up hard and fast, and you know, they don't hear those kind of things, and when they do hear it, it just seems kind of foreign.
Yeah.
And a lot of times too in this business, when people compliment you, it's just so that they can, you know, either get into your wallet or into your pants. And true story, you know that. And so I guess, you know, you kind of become a bit jaded towards the compliments, and you also have kind of like a bullshitometer that goes off.
Yeah.
You know, hey man, you were great. Really? Which songs did you like? I didn't hear any, but you're great. You know, I did that. I was joking around with the guys in the Red Hot Chili Peppers. We were over in Holland, and I saw Chad, and I was just goofing around with him because I like those guys, and I said, hey man, I didn't know you guys were playing last night. And he goes, why, were you here? And I said, no, just didn't know you were playing last night. And it was kind of like, you know, those stupid Will Ferrell comedy things, just one of those moments. You know, he had that look on his face, because he reminds me a lot of Will Ferrell, right? I don't know if you've ever made that connection or not, but he just looked at me like, Dave, you're out of your mind.
Wow. All right, well, everybody, we really appreciate you coming in here today to talk about your records and what you're doing now, and we'll just hope everybody goes out and gets United Abominations if you haven't, and also watch for the War Chest box set on October 3rd. And thank you so much for joining us, Dave.
You're welcome.
All right, thanks.